Home and heart. What kind of cheesy birds and key. Let's do 5. One more, please. Stork. Damn, sorry about that. Your head is strong. You have a strong head. She's chilling. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Icky. So the Hermit is coming with the heart. This is a very internal energy. To me, this is symbolizing like realignment or reintegration within self, and not letting any outside influences affect that. That's the first pair. And then we have home and justice. So there's some type of like fairness that is being brought into the household, multiple households. Like this energy of if you can say something, I can say something too, or vice versa, but not in like a maniacal sense, more of like a two-way street type thing. Like instead of like, oh, this is just a one-way street, or being like hypocritical, this is like, okay, I'm gonna choose certain words and actions because I can see this fairness coming into the home, or it is creating space for fairness or some type of equality to come into the household. Something about power dynamics and just that, like, everyone everyone can everyone could do it. Not everyone could do it on their own. And it's almost like the reward for doing it on your own is that you don't have to do it on your own. And maybe that's that energy coming in to where it's like a more balanced give and take as a whole. 555. And then we got Stork with the Six of Cups. And this is a very external energy. This is like giving me like long distance looking energy. That maybe there's a situation going on currently where it's bringing up different memories and feelings. You may be remembering people or pets or energy, just whatever that you may have forgot about or you may have disregarded before. It's definitely really giving a big looking out for each other energy as well. But because of the other cards that came out, it's like keeping a sharp eye, like combing through resources, just doing a comb through and patch fixing anything. Or redirecting something, re-energizing something, recurrent, directing the current, the currency, something like that. Birds and the Ace of Coins in external energy, hella. But it is a little bit more internal than the Stork energy because it's a little more interactive. So it definitely is closer to your personal energy, 22. But as you're removing the labels, the information, or like as you unset the things that you thought you knew, it's reflecting in the environment, and it's kind of like playing off of each other in the sense of you are creating a reality where instead of people really like labeling you in a negative light or an overly positive light, an overly negative or overly positive light, it's like shifting and balance, like it's blooming into some kind of opportunity. So there's chitter chatter, peep peeps, I don't know, because there's some feathers and dead birds on here also. So lots of things. It could be like cycles closing, new projects taking off, or projects that pair really well with each other that would be able to build off of each other without that birdie type energy, in the sense of just like the birds sitting on the wire shitting on your car, just beep 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 beep, freaking Morse coding on your roof to talk to each other, to eat all of your dog's food, like key and the five, sorry. Key and the Five of Swords. Okay. So the thing to remember, or the thing that the spotlight is on, or the keyhole that the door hole that the key is unlocking, the key is holding, the keyhole that the key, okay, anyway. If, okay, yeah. So I initially was gonna say like, oh, don't focus like too much. Don't focus too much on any one single relationship. But that's not always possible, and that's not always 333. That's not always the best decision or choice to make at the time. So if you treat every relationship the same responsibilities, regardless if it's familial, if it's romantic, if it's friendship, it's not gonna matter, because you hold yourself to the same standard. It's not, oh, well, I white lie to this one person because they do this or that or that. No, it's, I don't lie to this person because they do this or that or that. And that needs to change. Or I'm not going to let it run me over and silence me or filter me, whatever, 422. When you hold yourself to the same standards, regardless of the situation or the connection at hand, at bay, is what I'm hearing. Bay leaves might be 444, significant or useful to you at this time. And remember that you can also burn them and use them in food. But when you are showing up the same in every relationship, connection, whatever label you would prefer, the important people in your life that you may or may not know very well, when you show up the same way, for the most part, you can't be accused of like favoritism or enabling, because each individual person has their own sense. Each individual person has their own belonging. So it's personal. It's personal. It's like one-on-one. It's like what I like, what I don't like, and what people are willing to compromise. And what they are not. And so it's gonna vary on the situation. And it's gonna balance out somehow. But the details are not what is important in this time, in these moments. It's just that you're always showing up your best. You are giving an equivalent amount of care. You're prioritizing based on urgency and needs. And if you're gonna be working and people are gonna be doing whatever the fuck in the background, like you just can't pay attention to that. You just need to do what you can do, and it will be enough. Because it might look like or feel like somebody's doing something that's unhelpful, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it's part of their own little journey, like, oh, I could get that job done real quick. I could get that job done real quick. But without influencing the quality. Ten jobs real quick, or one like 10-year job, it doesn't. It's good to acknowledge the things going on around you, what people are saying, this and that, whatever. But always remember to come back and focus on yourself and the things that you like and that you got going on. And so the energy for you is very Page of Cups, Queen of Coins. So very much so, every little outburst, every this, every that, it's being renamed. And if you are going to stand up for yourself in the moments where you're like, no, I'm in the right or they're in the wrong, you need to remember that there's two sides of that and be willing to address it as such. So if you're gonna label somebody's crash out as like they have a problem and they need to fix it and it's affecting my life and this and that, that they can do the same thing to you, and they very well should, to balance it out, because that pinpoint and their pinpoint should be equivalent to a certain extent. Like, no matter what is going on, no matter what is being done, there is always like a bottom line and a connecting point. Basically, there's a lot of new information coming in, and this Queen of Coins energy just keeps rising and rising and rising. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. And so now they're all knowing, and it's all coming together. The Hierophant. Queen of Wands and the Hierophant. Like, if you don't want, oh, they deserved what they got energy, and you don't want, they're a fucking whatever label you want to put there, they're oh, they're violent, or oh, they're crazy, or oh, they're you know, not that bright, or they're this or they're that, or whatever the fuck. Like, if you do not want that, you do have to look at the in-betweens, and then the details become important. 122. So it's up to you. I mean, yeah, okay. And when these things arise within you, it's like it's up to you, 10 of Coins, if you're going to release it or choose to continue. Because you can't always know what the end result is. You can't always know what their next move is going to be. But you can communicate with yourself, and you can communicate with your spirit team. And that will keep you from feeling in a stagnant or stuck or like a goopy energy. There's a lot of Three of Swords energy going around right now. So if you are not in that energy, just to keep that in mind, and that uh uh like you don't put certain things on an open wound compared to like a scrape or a cut. The moon. Not rubbing salt in the wound, also, that's not necessary. Like, if you have to say something along the lines of that energy, but not exactly that, and in a way where it's more of like a confirmation of like understanding versus like trying to like one up or degrade. Knight of Wands. Understanding, integrating, and learning the difference between like fun banter and just straight up taking your shit out on other people. Seven of Wands. This is gonna influence the the gaming world, I guess, but like also any environment where you become on top by betraying yourself or others, that's getting stomped out. Like the Empress peeking out. Mm. This is so interesting. And as you go about loving the hatred, the fears, the demons, whatever comes along your path, ooh, Two of Coins, Eight of Swords in reverse, and the Four of Cups. Learning what your truth is. Because I was gonna say, like, oh, like finding like your true friends or whatever. But people get picky, sticky, icky with that too. So, solidifying self-love, 616. No longer doubting your abilities or your intuition or guilt tripping yourself about that or whatever. Being a true and good friend to yourself, letting that set the example. Solidifying or beginning to pave the pathway of independence, that you can do it on your own, that you're not stupid, that you're not dumb, that you are qualified just because of the way you're built, even though if you don't have all of the knowledge, technology, or tools. Turning your biggest haters into your greatest lovers type energy, however that works for you. Whatever that means for you. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Seeing where you may have boxed yourself, labeled yourself, isolated yourself, or other people may have done that to themselves, from your perspective. the freedom to love the things that are different because you are strong and firm in your truth. Because when you're strong and firm in your truth, you can learn others' truths. And even if it contradicts yours, it's not phasing. It's just like, oh, that's so cool. Where's the in-betweens? Where's the loopholes? Where's the patch fixes? Because if that's your truth and this is my truth, there has to be an in-between. And when you find the in-between and see that these two ideas or feelings or whatever are not that different, then you can move freely and go back and forth as desired in a way that is still upon your moral compass. The world! It's blooming season! It's blooming season! It's blossom season. King of Wands at the bottom. Okay, thanks for watching 9/11. That's fucking cab. Okay, bye!